I'm Ralph Serna, and I'm the designer of the original ventilator. I designed it back in 1989, and it was launched in 1990, the spring of 1990. My background was I was a fine arts major, so I came out as a sculptor and a painter. There was no footwear design school anywhere in college, so you had to kind of piecemeal it together. So this is one of the original prototypes. Originally this shoe was called the Terminator, and because of certain reasons we couldn't use that name, so we changed it to the Ventilator, which worked quite well because we had so much of the open mesh to do all that, and even the arch bridge itself certainly kind of gave it that venting feel, even though this is really more for support, not for venting. When we started looking around, we realized that the runners started to want an anti-pronation shoe much more than they had before. So they weren't just happy with a dual density EVA, they wanted something else. And we knew that a mechanical midsole of some sort would last longer and would not compress and would not flatten out like EVAs do. So that's when things became more mechanical, and that seemed to be the shoe that could carry that the best. And then the rest of it, with the Ventilator specifically, we realized from the briefs and just from doing all the research that this was a shoe that could be that consumer who was more of a rebel and more of a banshee and just wanted something crazy, hence the shark skin. And in that shark skin material, the reason we came up with it is because we just didn't want to do a big block of color like some of the other shoes that we might have done, and which would have worked well with those shoes. But in this brief, we just wanted something a little bit different that could add color, but not just be a simple block of color. And we happened to stumble across this material in Korea, and we decided this was the right thing because we could get the veins to be any color we wanted. Yeah, I think at that point, certainly every brand, but certainly Reebok, wanted us to come out with something that was going to be really ground shaking. We thought the Ventilator was the best shoe for us to do that. Back in those days, certainly everyone started looking more for these overlays that were just very minimal, so we started opening windows, taking some weight out, which made the shoe one of the lighter stability shoes as well. And people were very much starting to get into weight because of magazines like Runner's World putting down the weight of every single shoe. And we're quite happy with this because it was a really, really lightweight stability shoe, but still gave you all the support exactly where you would need it without a dual density, but a mechanical unit that would not break down. So it would be giving you as much support the last day of the life of the shoe as it was the first day. It is kind of a strange thing to think, 25 plus years afterwards, they're doing these great collaborations and great versions of this shoe and able to do things that certainly we would never have thought of or we couldn't have done because we were just thinking tech, it had to be vented, it had to be cooling, it had to be light. And now they have free license to new versions to do whatever they want, and they look fantastic. So yeah, it is kind of great to even hear my niece and nephews who are young teenagers saying they'd like to get a pair and wear these shoes now, which is great for me to hear, and it's great to see. So it is kind of a funny thing for myself to see it happening to a shoe that I did so long ago.